Hello everyone, I'm Jenson. Now, Governor Mike DeWine made some pretty big announcements today, and so did the CDC actually. So I thought it'd be good to hop on here and break some things down for you. Of course, if you have questions about any of this, shout them out. I cannot guarantee that I will have a very clear answer. We're learning all of this as you are too, but the questions help because I can always dig back in later and we can search for these answers for you. So I see some people tuning in now. We're going to talk again about DeWine's big press conference today. He made several big announcements. And again, we have a big announcement from the CDC. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive into this now. I'm going to start with the CDC and the FDA because that's really going to help with context for what we're getting into in a bit. So, as I'm sure a lot of you know by now, the U.S. health advisors endorsed the use of Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine in children as young as 12 today. So, the CDC basically said that they think these shots will let kids safely attend camps this summer, and it'll make for a more normal return to the classroom in the next school year. So, Pfizer's vaccine, again, as most of you know, has been used in people 16 and older for months now. So now the CDC has given the okay, saying it's safe for kids 12 to 15 years old too. And we were waiting on their okay. The FDA gave their authorization for emergency use earlier this week, and now the CDC is endorsing it. So yeah, we're gonna get to the mask stuff in a bit, Randy. So you're getting ahead of the game. But the first question is with the kids and vaccinations, is it okay to get vaccinated against COVID-19 at the same doctor's visit that you're getting other routine vaccinations? Now, the CDC at first said no. They were trying to be cautious about that, but they rolled that back today. And now they're saying it is okay to get your COVID-19 shot at the same time as other routine vaccinations. So that's going to be important to know as kids get their shots and go back to school. I'm going to get into that, John, real quick here. Actually, since you all are asking, let me jump ahead to that now. So we're looking at kids getting vaccinated in Ohio starting as early as tomorrow. DeWine is jumping in on that. So he's giving incentives for younger people too. I'm going to get into the $1 million thing in a moment. So if you're an Ohioan 17 and under and you get the vaccine, you can enter a drawing to win a full 4-year scholarship to any Ohio state university. So a state university in Ohio. So that includes tuition, room, board, and books. That drawing will happen every Wednesday for 5 weeks. So starting May 18th, this is for the scholarship incentive. An electronic portal will open up and young people who have been vaccinated can register. So Wednesday, May 26th is the first drawing for that. He'll announce the winner, and that will happen every Wednesday for 5 weeks. So there will be 5 17-year-olds or younger in Ohio who will get full 4-year scholarships at an Ohio university. So that's pretty exciting. Now, on to the $1 million question, which is the $1 million incentive. So I'll get into who's paying for it too. So that's actually, this is all coming from the Ohio Department of Health, and we have COVID funds from the federal government. So that's kind of how this stuff's being funded. Now, the $1 million incentive is for vaccinated adults. So this is going to happen 5 times as well. First drawing May 26th. How they get the people to pull out for the drawing, it's going to go primarily based off the voter registration roll. But if you are not registered to vote, you can still be entered to win that. They're going to open up another portal online, a website, so you can go on and enter yourself if you're vaccinated. So don't stress out if you're not on the voter roll. You can still, sign up to win the $1 million. So starting May 26th, he'll pull out a random adult in the United States who has been vaccinated to win $1 million. He'll do that every Wednesday for 5 weeks. So that's 5 people getting $1 million to hopefully get the vaccine here. So to be eligible to win, you have to be at least 18 for the $1 million incentive. On the day of the drawing, you have to be an Ohio resident, of course, and you have to be vaccinated before the drawing occurs. Let me go down. Now, the big one today is the health orders. I think this is the biggest one because it really impacts everyone. So June 2nd, all public health orders, except for the ones in nursing homes, I just want to make that clear, but all other public health orders will go away June 2nd. So no masks, none of that, June 2nd. So he thought it's basically 3 weeks away, so that notice should give people time who aren't vaccinated to get vaccinated ahead of the big reopening. Sean, yes, the $1 million is only for Ohio residents. So that is one of the rules of eligibility for that incentive. So that is a good question. You have to be 18, you have to be vaccinated before the day of the drawing, and you have to be a resident of Ohio. So yeah, basically the idea for the lifting on June 2nd is to give people time to get vaccinated and get that immunity going before, you know, all these orders are lifted. So he made clear also that just because the orders will be gone, the virus will not be gone. The virus is still here. And in fact, the variants that are out there are more contagious. So DeWine was saying that the people who aren't vaccinated are at higher risk. And I think that's why he's really like tripling down on these incentives to try and get more people vaccinated. So I appreciate everybody shouting out these questions. I am going to keep them coming if you want. For people just joining, I'm going to do a real quick recap of what we're talking about here. Again, the big CDC announcement about vaccinations for younger people, Ohio's announcements about the health orders, and vaccine incentives here, because there are some pretty big ones. So again, U.S. health advisors endorsed Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine today in kids as young as 12. So the idea is that it'll help them safely go to summer camps and get back into school. So they found that it's safe for kids, the same shot that adults 16 and older have been getting for months. They found that it's been safe for kids as young as 12 as well. The CDC is now changing their guidance and saying that it's okay to get your COVID-19 vaccine at the same time as routine shots as well. So that's kind of in a nutshell the CDC announcement. Now, since we are lowering the age range for the vaccines, DeWine said we're going to hit the ground running tomorrow. They've been preparing for this. They knew that it was going to go through. So Ohio's been prepping for vaccines to go out to kids as young as 12 for a while here. So children's hospitals, pediatricians, they're working with local groups to kind of get that process going and get it done efficiently. So he really wants young people to get vaccinated because we're seeing more young people getting sick and some even getting hospitalized. But in general, children are at a lower risk of severe infection. So I do want to make that very clear. So incentives for young people to get the vaccine: if you're 17 and under and you get vaccinated, you can be entered into a drawing to win a free full 4-year scholarship to any state university in Ohio. So that's tuition, room, board, books, the whole deal. So you can register online May 18th, and then the first drawing is May 26th. That's a Wednesday. Then it'll happen every Wednesday after that for 5 weeks. So that is 5 full scholarships for 17 and younger in Ohio. So that's a pretty big deal there. And adults, the $1 million incentive. This one I think is pretty wild. Vaccinated adults will be entered to win $1 million. This will happen for 5 weeks. First drawing is May 26th as well. So it's going to happen every Wednesday right alongside the scholarship. So the pool of names being drawn from is the voter registration rule. But if you're not registered to vote, you can still register online. He's going to put up another portal. So if you've been vaccinated and you want to try and get that $1 million, you can just sign your name up online. But we don't have those details or those links just yet. So stay tuned on that. To be eligible to win, you have to be 18, you have to live in Ohio, and you have to be vaccinated before the drawing occurs. So those are just the quick little rules there. And again, like I said, on June 2nd, all public health orders, except for the ones in nursing homes, will be lifted. They will be no more. The idea is to give people time to get vaccinated, to get either the one-shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine or the first dose at least of the Pfizer or Moderna vaccines, be on their way to immunity before we kind of get going on the almost complete reopening. Now, just because the orders are gone, of course, the virus is still out there. We do have the more contagious variants, and DeWine said that if you're not vaccinated, you're putting yourself at more of a risk. So again, I think that's why he's ramping up these vaccine incentives now ahead of this opening. So I am going to scroll again. I'm not seeing, oh, I am seeing some more. Again, yeah, I see, Lisa, you're talking about voter registration. Again, like I said, you don't have to be on the voter registration. You can sign up separately if you're not on the voter registration roll, and you'll be called to get that $1 million. Let me see. Again, that'll happen 5 times for both incentives. I see some people expressing excitement for not having to wear a mask anymore. I think a lot of people probably feel that way. Oh, and something I should note too, he pointed out that just because like the state health orders are gone, it doesn't mean that businesses and schools might not keep certain health orders around. They are free to put whatever rules they want in place, but the state mandate will just be gone. So just be aware of different businesses, and in other states we've seen that too, where even if the statewide health orders are gone, some businesses choose to keep social distancing and mask regulations in place. So keep your eye out for that as well. I'll hang out for just another minute more to see if we have more questions. Yeah, Sean, I think a lot of people are crossing their fingers for that one. I was not expecting that incentive to be announced today, but it's a pretty interesting one. I'm very intrigued. I do want to ask, we have something on our Facebook page about this as well. Hearing that, is this making anyone more likely to go out and get their shots? I guess I'm asking, is this incentivizing you actually, or is it not really changing how you feel about the situation? I'm kind of curious to see if that's changed anyone's minds. Let me see. I'm not seeing any new questions right now. So I'm going to log off here. I do see one of my colleagues has been posting links to the article that I wrote earlier that gives you a detailed recap of everything that was touched on. If you need more information, feel free to drop a comment. I'm going to try and check back later too to see if I can send you more links or answer more questions. But with all of that, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.